Hi all, welcome. I've got a bit of time while my son's at his rugby, little kids rugby. So I wanted to make a video about the Yoto player because a lot of my friends with kids have asked me about it when they've come to visit or stayed. They've been a bit intrigued and had quite a lot of questions. Obviously, like what it is, but also like, do we get enough use out of it? Is it worth it? How does it work? So I thought if I just make a video, I'll just tell you what I think. So, I mean, like, spoiler alert, I'm a big fan, right? So with that in mind, this is what it is. So if you haven't heard of it before, this is a Yoto player. It's like a screen-free audio device for kids. So the idea being that they can just play music and stories and things like that themselves without needing like a parent to control the remote control. But also the key thing is it's screen-free. I think it was started as a Kickstarter a few years ago, and it was really successful. And this is actually not the first version. They made one, and then they took a lot of feedback, and then they redesigned a new version, and that's this one. And it's just like a really nice design. I've always thought, as soon as I kind of saw it on the market, I thought it was something kind of just kind of nice and really usable about it. And just really quickly, I'll show you how it works. So it's got a little display and these little knobs that control the tracks and the volume and things like that. But then what you do is you can buy cards like this, and then you just you can like buy a collection of them and just play them through here. But that's just kind of basic stuff. There's actually loads more podcasts and radios and stuff like that you can get. But just like for starters, I'll just like show you how it works. So this is like a dog. Who doesn't love dog? Anyway, that's the little intro, and then it goes into the story, which is read by Imelda Staunton. I'll talk a bit about the cards another time because there's loads, and there's like loads to say about it. But the device itself is it's just really easy to use, and the reason we got it was because when my son was about 2-ish or a bit younger, and he discovered screens, phones, and iPads and stuff, and the telly, of course. It was great, like I don't mind him using them, but he just got like quite into it. You couldn't distract him at all. So, and particularly with like videos, he'd just keep watching them and keep watching them and keep watching them until you didn't really know like what he was watching anymore. And of course there's loads of ads, which is fine up to a certain extent, but just like he just kind of got really into it and he just wanted to keep watching it. And again, it's like really, really like hard to get out of the zone when he's like watching the iPad or something. So just wanted an alternative to that. And so I looked around, and there's a few offerings. Like I'm not the only parent that's found that, right? Like it's probably a bit of a global problem that kids can just get a little bit addicted to screens. By the way, I definitely think there's loads of positive things about using technology when children are young, and I think there's some brilliant programming for kids as well on telly. Definitely better than when I was a kid anyway. But that aside, just wanted something that he could control a bit himself. And so when we were researching different devices, there's a few on the marketplace. And the reason that I went for the Yoto, apart from, like, as I said before, I think the design's really nice. I think it's very neat. It's very like good in the hands for the little people. The little knobs are very easy to control. The thing that attracted me most was actually the way the cards work, because there are systems that are different and they don't use cards. But like, I know what I'm like. And I knew that if we got this, because they're not, they're quite an investment. At the moment, they're about, I think, $79.99. So there's something that you really need to take seriously as a purchase. And because I know what I'm like, I knew that if I was to get one, I'd like get really into collecting these. And I did. And yeah, again, I'll talk about the cards another time. So I like the fact that they were really like easy to store. And because if they were like bulkier and some of the other offerings out there, they're the way that they're kind of they play the music and stuff and play the stories, they're not kind of neat like the cards are, and these are just really easy to store, really easy to manage. You can't really break them. And so that was probably the main thing that really I think I liked about it. Those two things, like the design of it and then the way the cards worked. I should say, like, as well as the different kinds of cards that you can buy, and there's a lot of free content, the radios and podcasts and things, you can also like make your own, which is quite fun. So you can put on like music that you like, or we've got grandparents that write stories and then read them and send them as like an MP3 on WhatsApp, and then we just upload them to a card, and then my son can play them at any time. So there's just really nice things about this Yoto, like the Yoto player, that I think was just really well thought out. And like it's got really cute little design features like this, like you turn it upside down, like on its front, and like a little light comes up like a night light. It's just really nice bit of design. That's actually how you charge it, so it's rechargeable. It sits on like a cradle, or it's downstairs. Like I can't show you because it's downstairs plugged in. But it just sits on it, and you can play it while it's charging as well. I think the battery lasts about 4 hours, I think. I might have to check that. But anyway, yeah, so it's just been great. Like I really recommend it. Again, I thought it was the nicest one in the marketplace. And since I've got it, and I've had friends that have come with their kids to visit and they've tried it out, they've gone and bought them as well. So I am a bit of an evangelist about the Yoto, but because I genuinely think it's been really like transformative. There's some other things as well, which for my son was a bit delayed on language acquisition. And so again, this is a way to kind of maximise the stories and him really listening to the words and not just kind of seeing the pictures and having to really kind of understand the words. And also I bought this special pack called Phonics, which is from Yoto. Yoto have made them, and they're about just learning, well, phonics, yeah, and like what's that sound, and body beats where they have to pat out rhythms and things. And the content is growing like all the time. The card store, when I got it, there was plenty of stuff there when I first got this, which was a year ago. There was loads of stuff on the in the card store. But since then, there's loads more, and there's loads of other language stuff as well. So there's a lot in French language. I think that's one of their main things. And I think that also, because I was talking to a friend of mine who's got children a similar age in the States. They live in Washington, DC, and they were looking at something like this. And when they first, it was similar time, kind of a year or so ago, when they first started looking, it didn't have a huge amount of content for the States, like for that audience. And then I said, well, just look at it again. And he turned around and was like, oh, wow, there's loads more. And all the time I go on the card store and like there's a whole new load of things. Like they've just added quite a lot of Disney stories. And which other ones did they do recently? There's a lot of Roald Dahl there too. So all of your favourites when you were a kid, like they're all on there as well. So it's a little bit like living vicariously because some of them are just brilliant. Actually, in fact, we've got really into the Claude books, and that was purely from Yoto. Hang on, let me show you. So we got one of the Claude books. I think might have been in the starter packs. I'm not sure. Or Yoto Club. So Yoto Club is like a monthly thing, and you pay an amount and you get 2 new cards, and there's always option for ones that are completely new, so they won't replicate something you've already got. And I think in Yoto Club we got a Claude. If you don't know, that Alex T. Smith books, they're really, really good. Like they're such good stories. They're about Claude, who's the dog, and his little friend Sir Bobbly Sock. So we'd never come across these books, and then we got we got Claude on the Slopes, I think it is, on Yoto Club. And it's read by Simon Callow, and it's so good. Like it's so appealing to like adults and children. That we've got like all the books, well, not all of them, but we've got a lot of them, and we've got more of the stories on Yoto as well. In fact, that's a good point. So you can, and this is really neat. You can, let me find it for you. So it comes with an app, so you can control it from here. And these are all of my cards that we've got. As you can see, we've got quite a lot. There are the Claude ones. So you can actually play all of the cards on your phone, and so that means that we can play them in the car as well. We will actually, be honest, like if we're traveling long distance, like we'll take this with us, which is like just really handy, and we'll take headphones as well. It's got a little headphone jack there. But the fact that you can play them from your phone, as well as like loads of other, the radios and the podcasts and things like that, mean that you can then do it through Bluetooth. So we can put them on the Bluetooth speakers in the car, even if we're in someone else's car. So you don't even physically have to have the thing, as long as you've the Yoto player. As long as you've like put the card in and the system knows that you've got all your new cards, you can get them on the app, and you can have a family of them as well. So my other half, he's got the Yoto app on his phone, and he can play the Yoto cards through his phone too. So we definitely get a lot of use out of it. 100%. It's been such a good purchase, and again, like the friends that I have that I've talked to about it and have gone on to buy it, some of them were staying with us last week, and they brought their Yoto, and they had Kids Bop, and we've got Kids Bop, but we had two different albums, and they just like they were staying in my son's room, and so there was 3 of them in here. It was Saturday morning, and they were all just in here, basically like having a disco party on Saturday morning with the Yoto, because they had the 2 different like Kids Bops, and they wanted to hear each other's tunes. It was just so nice. So I got a lie-in, which was great, and they were probably like over an hour. They were just had the Yoto going, dancing away, but like it's just brilliant. I mean, who doesn't like a lion? So that was an added bonus that we weren't expecting. So that's what I think of the Yoto. I think it's been a really good purchase. I think that it's such a nice design, and I would definitely recommend it to anyone who's looking for just like an alternative to iPads and phones, screens and telly, and want kids to be able to have a bit of control over it themselves. So yeah, I'll probably put a link below, so if you want to check it out, and yeah, speak soon. Bye.